puts pissing tidily in their list of heavenly amenities?
His whole acting style is just meme.
The glasses are off.
Even the fact that he can bend it like that, that is a skill.
Hello, I am Hazel Hayes and welcome back to Prime Video Club, the show that offers you a welcome relief from the monotony of self-isolation and brings us all together, not literally of course, but figuratively, in our love of watching stuff and makes us feel like one big, happy, cabin-fevered family.
We might just make it. Did that thought ever cross your brain?
Now, last time we nominated one show and one classic film and asked you to go away and have a look at them in time for this episode. Today, we will be talking about Steven Spielberg's legendary film Jurassic Park. A T-Rex there, boldly sticking up its middle talon in the face of social distancing. We'll also be talking about the very first episode of brand new comedy sci-fi Upload. So joining us this week, it is the man with the plan. It's Munya.
Planty's back again. He's missed all of you so much.
You said he was going to have a bow tie and sunglasses this week. I am so disappointed. I am bereft.
Planty has got on some absolutely stunning male lingerie, which I will show you when I rotate the plant later in the episode. So
later
don't worry
on,
about that, Hazel.
just us. Can't wait. We are going to have a little chat today about a classic, legendary film from Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park. Shall we just dive right into this?
Let's dive in.
In the words of Richard Attenborough,
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
I'd like to kick off our discussion about Jurassic Park by throwing you under the bus. I got a DM this week, didn't I? Asking me, is it the old one? Are we meant to be watching the old one?
Fairly alarmed here.
Listen, I'm going to say something right now. I have never watched that film. I've never watched Jurassic Park until now. Because, let me tell you something.
I'm more excited to talk to you about it now.
Yeah, but Hazel, listen, it's one of them things where it's always on TV, but I always watch like 10-minute chunks. So I've never appreciated it in its fulsomeness.
Wow.
I've only watched the recent ones, which I thought were pretty good, but this blew my mind.
And yes, there have been some really good sequels. I do agree with that.
So first of all, I was so impressed by how they managed to convey this sense of utter disbelief when the paleontologists who spend most of their day sweeping dinosaur bones see actual dinosaurs. I believed it. I believed that they'd seen an actual dinosaur, despite the fact, I was so impressed even by the fact that they made the dinosaurs look real-ish, considering the CGI restrictions back then. Again, I'm someone who's watched the most recent Jurassic World film, so I'm used to seeing top-of-the-line CGI. But things like the Velociraptors, the T-Rex, the crazy spitting one who's got the massive dino afro. I thought, do you know what? This is actually, if I had watched this back in 1945 or whenever it came out. 93, my mind would have been blown.
What he does so beautifully is make it magical before it gets terrifying. Like we buy into the magic of this park, the wonder of it. These beautiful creatures, just they're not even carnivores. They're just eating some trees. Everything's fine. It's all very safe, and they're lovely. And the sun is glistening on the water, and the music is swelling, and it feels calm and it feels safe. He kind of builds in this illusion of safety before everything comes crumbling down, which again is wonderful. 100%. And we buy into these characters as well. We care about them because we've been with them from the get-go.
I thought it was going to be the classic route of, like you were saying, everything's so nice and wonderful until the middle of the film. But actually, it does start with a pretty horrifying moment. So I picked the scene where health and safety standards go out the window and my poor dude, Bob, gets eaten. So look at all the weapons, first of all. Whatever this is, it's dangerous.
Yeah. And he does a similar thing with Jaws as well, where we start with a shark attack. We don't see the shark in the exact same way that we don't see the dinosaur here, but we get a hint of the monster.
Those little holes in the side of the cage like that.
Yeah. The sound effects. And apparently those sound effects of the T-Rex were a mixture of all different animals, like a tiger and a penguin, I think, was in there, and so they used real animal noises for the dinosaurs.
So this was great because you get a sense of how powerful this thing must be.
Oh!
And then Bob, he's gone. Bob's gone.
Bob.
By this point, he's already lost both his ankles.
Yeah. We also get introduced to this wonderful British hunter character who will go on to say the famous line.
Clever girl.
But we know we establish him as part of the park's staff in this scene as well.
And the thing is,
God,
you know this isn't even the
terrifying.
biggest dinosaur.
No, this is just a small guy. Yeah, absolutely. I have so much I want to say to you about this. I'm so excited. But yeah, you mentioned the moment where Sam Neill and Laura Dern playing a pair of paleontologists who usually are digging up old dusty dinosaur bones. And Richard Attenborough's turned up and said, I've built a theme park full of dinosaurs. Come have a look. Here we go. He's about to see them for the first time.
Shouldn't be here.
Oh my God,
look at this double take.
They shot this
double take is
push in,
epic.
and it just stays on him, and it will stay with him.
Wait for him to take off the hat.
Oh,
Boom.
the hat comes, then the
The
rise.
hat's off. The climb.
Oh, and then this famous moment,
Glasses.
the glasses are off. I love it. It's so magical. He reaches over and physically twists her head around to look at the dinosaurs. And she's just looking at a leaf, like she's so happy about the leaf. Glasses are off. She's up as well. Oh my God. And like he's telling it all in reactions until this shot. And then the score.
Oh, the
John,
score kicks in.
my boy, John Williams. Oh,
Look at that T-Rex.
you know that's not a T-Rex. And I know you know that that's not a T-Rex.
I just love how like, where did they film this? This looks like another
I
planet.
think it was Hawaii. But it's just, look at how beautiful. And it holds up. It's a dinosaur. And he's so
His left
thrilled to
leg
be
is
showing
trembling.
them. Jeff, lovely
Check out
Jeff.
old Jeff.
Oh,
This is like my granddad if you were to show him a new lawnmower. That level of excitement and bafflement.
each to their own, Munya. Oh, it really is so magical.
And the timing is so excellent because you know
Yeah.
that dinosaur wouldn't have been there during the filming, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's turned up at the right time. I mean, yeah,
Wow.
Laura Dern in particular. I mean, she's an Oscar-winning actress, and both her and Sam Neill, and actually Richard Attenborough as well, and Jeff Goldblum. I mean, you're talking about, look at that cast, like who back in 1993 may not have been the superstars that they are now, but like these are all household names now. These are solid actors who you can trust to pretend there's a dinosaur there and do it
Yeah.
justice.
So, the kid actors, especially Ariana Richards. Now, I don't know if when you're watching stuff on Prime Video, it brings up trivia, which is pretty cool. And something I saw was that her audition was her just having to scream. And out of all the people who auditioned, her scream was the only one that got Spielberg's wife to come through and ask if her kids were okay. And that's how she got the part.
And that, you know that scene in the car when the glass breaks, when the T-Rex sort of foot comes down, or is it his head, I don't know, and the glass breaks, that wasn't supposed to happen. So they were
wow.
supposed to be just holding up this piece of glass, and then it breaks, and so that scream is real. There was a genuine reaction to that happening. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That would have been pretty scary.
Yeah. Oh, bless
A mechanical T-Rex smashing glass into your face, yeah.
Yeah, and like speaking of the mechanical T-Rex, I think what you were saying a minute ago about it all looking so amazing, and it does really hold up. I think it's because people just aren't working in the way that they used to with animatronics and practical effects, like because they were so limited by the computer graphics. And I mean, that said, it changed computer graphics forever when this came out, but they weren't afraid to build things. And there is something so different, like what you're saying, when you've got a big mechanical head sort of poking into the car, it's different than trying to act against something that isn't there.
Yeah,
And for
agree.
us as an audience, seeing it there, the way the light catches it, everything like that is obviously going to feel a lot more real to us as well. And actually, apparently, that mechanical T-Rex would sometimes just come to life and scare the shit out of the whole
Oh my
crew.
God,
It
can
was
you
just, it would
imagine?
just be standing in the corner and then it would just come to life.
I'm going to take you to the Natural History Museum where
love
they've got
to.
this, you know that enormous T-Rex? They have an enormous T-Rex there and it's got sensors in its eyes and it follows you around. Hazel,
I've never been.
I've sorted your Christmas present.
It's a
I've
day.
sorted your Christmas present.
Well, I hope I'm out of here before Christmas, but yes, let's do it. I mean, you've got Spielberg directing. I could talk to you all day about how Spielberg directed this film. I kept pausing it to annoy my flatmate, being like, just watch this shot. Look, it's all done in one shot. Look, and then it moves from here to here. And then he's so economic. He's so efficient. There are so many moments in this where you get him telling different things in one shot. And where any other director, you'd get a shot, you'd get a reverse, you'd cut over here, you'd cut over there. Spielberg will start on something and then take you through this whole journey and tell you a whole story just in one shot, which he's doing in that scene. You've got that beautiful score by John Williams, which elevates the whole thing. And of course, they're famous for working together. Before this, they've done Jaws, E.T., Close Encounters. This was a really interesting year for Spielberg, 93. He made Schindler's List the same year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I can't even begin to fathom the kind of director you must be to make this blockbuster, which I think made about $1 billion at the box office, and Schindler's List.
What's a person worth?
No. What's one worth to you?
Two of the greatest films of all time in one year. I mean, it's crazy.
He's a legend.
Crazy.
I'd love to know whether when he watches Jurassic Park, whether he gets that cringe feeling of watching something he did really early on in his career, like my old YouTube videos, which will never be seen by anyone.
Never resurface.
Ever. I wonder whether he feels the magic that we felt watching it even now. That's something I'd really like to ask him. So Hazel, if you can, get him on the next episode.
Well,
for me,
it's funny you say that, Munya. I have met him already, and I have, funnily enough, asked him that exact question.
Oh.
So I do know the answer.
And what did he say then?
I asked whether he's ever happy with the finished product, like whether he looks back at his films and goes, yes, that is perfect, that is a masterpiece, because everybody else thinks it is. And he said, no, he's never happy with what he makes, but that makes him a better storyteller. Like, he feels like once he's done with something, he puts it to the side, he moves on. And if he were to hold everything up and look at it and go, this perfect creation, he would never strive to be better. So he likes that there's always something he's never fully happy about, because on the next project then he will try and be even better. There you go. Now we know.
I guess I'll never get to ask him, because you already did. As
you can
usual.
Ask him a different question. Shall we move on to reviews and see what some other people have to say?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so I like this one. This one person asks, did anyone take Jeff Goldblum's DNA? I'd visit that park any day. You say that.
Chat line.
Wouldn't it be a bit terrifying though? Is it a park of giant Jeff Goldblums, or are they regular sized? And if so, is that not a lot?
That is a lot. I think they should have one massive one that just lays there in that signature pose, and then the rest can just be running around making one-liners.
That is one big pile of shit.
That scene where I'm not sure why his shirt is open. And I saw an interview with him where they talked about this. They were like, Jeff, why was your shirt open for that scene? And he's genuinely like, I don't know. We were filming like Hawaii or something. It was very hot. We're supposed to be in like Costa Rica. And he was like, I don't specifically remember Spielberg being like, Jeff, could we just open the shirt? I don't remember that happening, but somehow I do remember suddenly I'm there, I'm lying down, it's open, there's a bit of sweat, it's all sort of glistening, and now I'm delivering my lines this way, and I don't really know why it happened, but hey, you know, it's become quite iconic. My favorite.
It is iconic.
My favorite one is that the one where Sam Neill, they photoshopped the bit where Sam Neill's resting on the dinosaur's belly, listening to it breathe, and they put him on Jeff.
No.
I love it so much. Munya, it's your favourite time. It's your favourite time.
Yes! IMDb bingo!
No, it's not IMDb bingo, it's just IMD bingo.
IMD bingo!
That's why it's genius.
But I am ready. I'm going to get
You're
2
ready?
out of 2. No, I'm going to get all correct answers. I'm
confident you will. I'm confident
with a
you
PhD.
will. First up, on IMD bingo, what do you call a blind dinosaur?
I've got 2 answers for this.
Yes. You know that this joke is in the film, yes?
Yeah. 1, did you think he saw us? Yeah.
I'll accept
2,
that. Yeah.
2, anything you want because he can't chase after you.
Hey! Bonus points! I'm gonna throw another little curveball your way.
Okay.
The glass of water in the car that we see the vibration in, how did they create that effect?
Did they get Jeff Goldblum to twerk on the car?
They didn't. They had, instead of that, They had a guitar string underneath the dash, which they
How
would
the
pluck.
hell was I meant to get that?
You never had any hope of getting it, Munya. I just never want you to get a clean sweep.
Oh.
It's a losing game. The house always wins on IMD bingo. Well, that is a Velociraptor on that. Gonna
Hazel.
do it.
Hazel.
I'm quite proud of that one, Munya.
Could have been worse, John. A lot worse.
I'm
I
going to
worked all
pretend that
night
was a
on that
malfunction. I'm going to pretend that was a malfunction in the computer and that was a glitch.
God damn it! I hate this hacker crap.
Speaking of which, malfunctions in computers and glitches, we are moving on to a brand new sci-fi comedy called Upload. This show is created by Greg Daniels, who I don't know if you know, he's worked on the likes of The Simpsons, The Office, Parks and Rec.
Hoes before bros. Uteruses before deuteruses. Got it. Ovaries before brovaries.
There's a really cute little Easter egg in this, actually, where she's scrolling through a bunch of different shows and they're all his. So just
Really? That's it?
Something to look out for. Yeah, so they kind
Yeah.
of put that little Easter egg in there. Basically, we're talking about a world where before people die, they can have their consciousness uploaded into a sort of computer simulated environment of their choice where they get to exist, presumably forever. We have a guy named Nathan who is the subject, the poor deceased, the dearly departed Nathan, who goes to one of these versions of heaven called Lakeview. And the other sort of main character I would say in the show is Nora, who's kind of his tech girl. She's working for the company who handle Lakeview, and she's like customer services. She's on the phone to him. She's helping get him set up. She's helping him to change over from life to death.
Hope it's not too Ralph Lauren for you.
What I liked about it, Hazel, is this, okay? I like the concept of when you die, they can upload your mind to like a heaven cloud. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I quite like that concept because it feels like something that could happen.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to Upload, Nathan. You made it to Lakeview, you lucky duck.
Feeling pins and needles.
Why do people always set it for Australian accent? Say again, please.
Pins and needles.
There we go. That's a lot better voice for you.
Yours is nice too.
I'd like her to help me
Yeah, pins and
get into
needles.
heaven. Like her voice is like ASMR.
You want, whenever your Wi-Fi goes down, you sort of want her there, don't you?
Yeah.
She's so chill.
Make her Siri
And this
now.
Make her Siri. I'm sure there's an option.
What celebrity's voice would you most like to wake up to in heaven?
Shark swimming right towards
Denzel
Patrick
Washington.
Stewart.
Supposed to happen.
Straight in. We're both straight in.
Sense of humor.
I like
Simon
that.
Cowell.
So welcome to Lakeview by Horizon, the only
she's so
digital
sweet.
afterlife
She would have to make me
environment
6
modeled on
foot
the
because
Grand Victorian
that's something I've always wanted here on
hotels in
Earth.
Canada.
To have it in heaven would be wonderful.
She seems to really care about him. She seems to really want to help him out.
Uplifting views, healthy pursuits, timeless Americana.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's because she has some sort of insider info that something must have happened for him, something deliberate must have happened, especially that she knows it was an automated car crash. So there's definitely some sort of affinity there, and later on in the episode, she stops him from doing something stupid, but she's there for him in the crucial moments, and I think she's willing to break protocol for him. I think come episode 2, she's going to be slipping in her middle name and being like, yeah, this is who I actually am.
You don't even know me.
Not yet, but I'd like to.
And then the mystery of these deleted files, the people who control your entrance into the afterlife, so who control your upload, they have access to your memories and stuff, and that, we see them trying to access certain memories he has, and it's just like error. So it feels like there's some tampering going on. And then
There is.
Another big spoiler, if you've not yet watched till the end of the episode, just hold your ears for 10 seconds. At the end of the episode, something or someone is deleting the error files permanently. But why?
Another question. Are Robbie Amell and Tom Cruise the same person? Did you notice the
Well-
likeness to Tom Cruise?
I was looking very carefully to see the tooth in the middle of the face. You know that thing they say about Tom Cruise?
Yes. Yeah.
Tooth in the middle of the face.
Tooth in the middle
Didn't
of the
see
face.
any tooth alignment with the face, so they're not the same person.
Okay, good to know. You've checked. Again, another question. Who puts pissing tidily in their list of heavenly amenities? They ask that, but actually you've sort of answered that already for us. Yeah, you do, don't you?
No, but you'd be a bit disappointed if you got to heaven and there was pee on the floor.
pee
You'd be
everywhere.
like, guys, come on. You had one job.
I'm going to leave the sound off for this one, I think.
There you go. Even the fact that he can bend it like that is a skill.
Instantly impressive.
Look how it's going precisely in the plug hole.
Would that not get eventually a little bit... See, this does actually raise an interesting question, which is if you couldn't ever splash, does it take away a bit of the thrill?
I don't know, but my guy just did a full 360 turn and not a single splatter went anywhere. Look at him. He's doing between the legs. Oh, that is excellent. I mean, Hazel,
stuff.
I'm not going to go
stuff.
too much into the inner workings of men's public toilets, but let me tell you something. There are a lot of men who need to go to Lakeview right now.
The humour, weirdly, came in those little things, like you said. He goes to get breakfast at the buffet and the food just disappears at, like, I think it's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And you get that kind of falling down moment of, like, McDonald's breakfast finishes at 10
Yeah,
and, like, the guy just goes nuts.
Fuckity fuck.
When the show opens and you hear about this idea of you can go to a better place, in your mind you're thinking, that sounds pretty good. So when he then gets to Lakeview, and he's got the infinite control over the weather, he can eat whatever he wants, there's a never-ending buffet every week, but he has to pay to access like a cappuccino or some fries from Burger King.
You've still got commercialism in the afterlife. Yeah.
Yeah, and his girlfriend, she's the one controlling his access to the premium side of Lakeview.
Oh, hey, can I get your Verizon password? I can't charge anything to my account here.
Well, I set something up so I get this little text alert whenever you want to charge something. And I just like knowing what you're up to. You know, it makes me feel closer to you.
She came across as being quite vacuous, I'd say.
Hey, babe, I just ran into my pube stylist, so I've got a drone.
You don't have any pubes.
Yeah, I know. She's amazing.
Or for want of a better word, sequacious is a word I learned today, which means, what does it mean? It means just not having much originality.
Okay, I did not know the word sequacious. I've learned a new word today. Thank you, Munya.
I've one-upped you.
You sick genius.
I don't quite know a show that has tampered with the idea of the afterlife and technology and capitalism. But I think there's going to be a large audience that goes, oh yeah, I definitely want to watch this because it feels like something that could happen in my lifetime.
Well, that's upload. The first season is now available on Prime, so you can go and binge that if you like. And then...
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Alrighty, well, if I'm all talked out, how about you?
Yeah, me too. Honestly, right now, all I need is a glass of water and a framed picture of Jeff Goldblum.
It's winging its way to you as we speak. I'm off to make a cuppa. I'll wait for my oil painting to arrive and look forward to our date in the Natural History Museum.
Oh yeah, and also our plants date as well. Make sure you turn up for that.
Yes.
He's really looking forward to it. He's really looking forward to it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm
Hazel, it's been a pleasure. Please don't practice any more puns whilst I'm not with you, okay? We've had more than enough. I will see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks, Munya.
Bye.
Bye.